welcome to Simply Indie. I was going to say, so kind of tell us who you guys are, what your film's about, and what you, like, kind of what inspired it, per se, if you want, and give us a little bit of a synopsis.
Great.
Sure. Yeah, so I'm Allison Moy Hayhurst.
And I'm Mike Hayhurst. We both live in New York. We run a production company up there. And our film, Cook with the Heart, is about a young woman called Stacy. And Stacy is one of the 1.6% of millennials who have turned to ethical cannibalism as a way to fight climate change, overpopulation. Very eco-conscious young lady. So we follow her for a couple of weeks, and things happen.
Yep. That is a very valid way of putting it. I will say, though, the comedic style of it, I absolutely loved. I personally am like a fan of like The Office type style of comedy, and I very much got that vibe from it. So I was actually laughing out loud and here by myself watching it earlier. So that's what I was saying, is I really liked it. I thought it was a very well put together film. But in terms of the film itself, what inspired you guys to kind of create this story around that very intrinsic diet that is unique?
Yes.
Yeah, it was your second pandemic birthday.
Yep.
And I think we were gonna have a picnic outside, but then it was gonna rain.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, Mike, what do you want to do for your birthday? And he was like, I think I want to make our own 72 or 48-hour film challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so you want to work on your birthday? And you were like, yep. I was like, okay, great, let's do it.
So basically I put some ideas in a hat that
Mm-hmm.
I was always kind of interested in, and I love the kind of mockumentary genre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you look at The Office, you go back to Christopher Guest and
Yes.
those films. A couple of friends of ours are very, very good improvisers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, threw some things in a hat. Dark comedy, ghosts I think was one of the things. Minor spoiler alert, depending on when you see the film.
Yeah.
And we drew them on a Friday night, and the four of us just kind of got together and we chatted and we talked and came up with this idea of ethical cannibalism and how a young woman could navigate that as a lifestyle choice.
Yeah.
So Dan, our lead actor, he kind of wrote a kind of outline script, kind of basic outline.
Mm-hmm.
Finished that Friday night. Saturday morning, woke up, shot the whole thing in a day, and just improvised. We ran 2 cameras, and I just kind of let them play and try some things out. And then took all that footage, cut the thing together, and we ended up here with this film, in a nutshell.
So did it take 48 or 72 hours to do it?
The first rough assembly was 48.
Okay.
And I think
on the Sunday of
Yeah.
your birthday, I was like, hey babe, remember you said you wanted to do this, so like you don't have to finish editing it tonight.
Yes.
Like no one's making you do that.
Right. But I think after that first assembly, I saw these performances. I saw the kind of, the humor that was there, and at that point, I thought, okay, well, this isn't just a kind of something we've thrown together. I think let's find the right composer. And Judith Moy, our composer, did a fantastic job, just kind of really nailing that genre and just placing it in a world that we all immediately kind of understand in like this documentary type style.
Yeah.
We found a VFX artist, Natalie, who did a great job with, again, minor spoiler alert, some of the more fantastic
Otherworldly elements.
Yes.
And blood.
And some blood. So I think all in all, it took an extra kind of month or 2 to finish it all off.
Well,
but
it was brilliantly done. I
Thank you.
I thought it was very well put together. I didn't know it was a 48-hour challenge, so that, to me, there you go, if that's a compliment, because usually those can be a little rough sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so, but that, I didn't think it was something like that. So that was a very plus thing. But because usually those 48-hour challenges tend to run into speed bumps, did you guys happen to run into any of those, with it being a pandemic and you kind of, I'm assuming, were in quarantine when you did most of this? And
Yeah, so luckily we were potted with Dan and Natalie, who are the main actors in it.
Yeah.
So that was good that we didn't, have to do extra testing or anything.
Yes, they live in our neighborhood. They're also a married couple.
Mm-hmm.
So the relationship between them, that improv style was very, very strong. Natalie is a vegan.
So there was lots of in sourcing a lot of the props. I was like, "Are you okay touching lots of meat? Is that okay?"
This is a veal rib. If you're comfortable with that.
And also because we did it so quickly, I was like, I was literally at the store being like, "Okay, what which of these animals looks like human body parts?
Yes.
Like, what could be believable? It's like, oh, lamb shank, good.
Yeah, an arm or a shoulder.
Yeah,
I don't think I personally have ever had to go grocery shopping in terms of thinking what looks like an arm and whatnot. But that's kind of funny. I didn't know that. So that's another, I feel like an Easter egg of sorts in a way. But
and she just kind of went for it, and really, I think there was one scene that Dan wrote where she was kind of finally eating the tenderloin at the end, and like, yeah, we're not going to push that.
we don't want to ruin that.
That's too much. But she was a vegan. He trained for a while as a butcher. And is a very, very good chef. So all the slicing and dicing and stuff, that was all him, just naturally kind of doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Just time. I think it always comes down to time.
Yeah.
I think. You know, if we could have had a second day, that would have been nice. But then at the same time, the momentum that we had, you know, it was a really fun day. And a long day, but you know, a lot of fun. And once the two of them kind of really found that rhythm of this, you know, these two characters.
It flowed.
Yeah. And I think just kind of get the cameras on them, let them do their thing, and then in the edit we'll kind of cut the whole thing together and see what we get.
Nice. Well, I think it turned out good. But I was going to say, for just the general people that haven't seen it yet, what do you hope they kind of take away from it? Do you hope that you brought laughter, or do you hope you brought maybe oh, maybe you shouldn't be doing this, like something along those lines? Like, what do you guys think people are going to get from it?
I love the moment when people kind of connect with a character, empathize with a character, and then when you just twist something ever so slightly. And you still like them, but you're kind of repulsed by what they're doing. I'm really interested in that kind of push and pull kind of dynamic.
Okay.
I hope people laugh. I hope people, just see it as something maybe a little different, a little kind of unusual and surprising. It's kind of gross. I don't know.
Don't think about it too deep, because it's kind of gross.
So don't think about it too much, but just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I will say at the beginning, I was like watching it, and then when that twist of cannibalism came in, I was like, oh, okay. And then it it progressed, and then that whole part I just kind of forgot about, even though it's still part of the movie. And it was just the way that it was brought and delivered was very, very well done in my opinion.
Thank you. Yeah, I think you're made for voiceover.
Oh,
it's nice.
Happy to narrate all of your documentaries.
Yeah, gentle documentary. Is it nicely?
It kind of sounded like I mean, I met you guys last night, so when I heard your voice, I was like, okay, it's her. But you kind of had almost like a psychologist sounding voice a little bit.
Putting my best sort of podcast voice on.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it was very well done, guys. But is this kind of like the beginning of something else, or is it just kind of like a one and done sort of thing?
There is a feature-length version of this kind of brewing in my head. That, yes, is currently kind of percolating.
But you have to be careful about how you Google some of the things that you're Googling.
I would imagine some flags could be raised.
So yes, I think, we're kind of early stages of a kind of festival run, and I think a lot of that's been virtual, so being able to share a screening with people and to kind of really get some feedback, and if there is enough interest in it, then maybe we do look at a wider cinematic universe with ethical cannibalism. I don't know. It could.
Who knows? It'd be a little creepy, but I mean, it's 2022. Anything's possible at this point. But if people wanted to follow you guys and continue to see the work that you guys are working on other projects, and not just this one, what would be a good place for people to kind of find you online or reach out if they're interested in maybe helping or want to see what more that you guys have to offer?
We're on Instagram. Our production company is called Evening Squire Productions, so it's just at Evening Squire. Also on Facebook, so you can.
The website is also eveningsquire.com, and there's a contact form there with email addresses and whatnot. So
Well, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming all the way to Oklahoma. I know you guys aren't
Glad
from
to
here
be
right
here.
now. Sorry, our roads aren't the best compared to where you guys are probably from. But I hope you guys are having fun here and enjoying your visit.
We are
It's been a
already.
blast.
Yeah.
It's a blast. Thank you very, very much.
Well, thank you so much for everything.
Great.
And enjoy your rest of the time here.
Yeah.